Hello there. I'm Alan. I'm a web designer and an SEO specialist, and I was taking a look at some of the websites of different government agencies in Uganda, and I landed on the State House website, and I noticed some key differences, key changes that can be made to the website to make it better overall, and make it faster, make it run more efficiently. In order to make it easier for the people that navigate it, to have an easier time of finding the information they need, and just to have a better presentation of something that is deserving of the status of the State House website. Now, before we go to the website itself, we are going to begin with this knowledge panel here. This Google Knowledge panel is, obviously something you sign up for to give people a brief overview of excuse me, of what this enterprise is about. So I can see you already did a very good job of listing out different things. I can see the website is here, the phone number is already added, directions, working hours and all that, and a few questions. But then I saw some things that we can begin to fix right away that are a little bit misleading. So to begin with, the Instagram is there. If you look in the bottom left corner, links to the Instagram. But then there are two YouTube channels for some reason. There is this one and this one. And when you look at these, we obviously have to get rid of one and only keep the other. This one is the State House Uganda 256. This one is a little... I don't know if this is the official one, but this one is, it's more updated. It has more recent information about the president, the vice president, and the different things they are doing. So I don't know if this is the one, or there's this other one that has kind of the official hand of State House UG, which matches the Instagram, the State House UG, and the Twitter as well. So I don't know which of these is considered to be the main official YouTube channel of the State House, but whichever it is, we should come in here and edit it and get rid of the other one. If it's this one, then you get rid of this one. If it's the old one, that is, but I don't think this can be it because this one hasn't been updated in 12 years. The information is very, very old that is here. So I'm guessing it's this one. If it's this one, then we come and delete this other one and only leave the official one there, just to avoid that confusion, just to make sure information flows faster to the people that need it. And then the Twitter here it instead links to the president's Twitter instead of the State House Twitter. So that we should also fix it. And make sure it only links to the Twitter here. So there's Instagram, there's YouTube, there's Twitter. Probably we should also add Facebook here, if that's a thing that is active. We're gonna also add the Facebook profile here. Which other one? A direct WhatsApp number that people can chat with if they have a few questions to ask. So things like that. So we can begin by fixing the socials here. When I came here to the photos as well, there's a ton of photos, which is good. It's good to have to add at least a few a month of the few excuse me, of the few important events that occurred that month. We can always add them every month to keep it active, not just photos but videos as well. And then we should also make sure that we get rid of irrelevant pictures and videos like this. This is some, I don't know if it's related to the State House, but it's some sort of event or music video. That's irrelevant. This is relevant as well. This is like a construction site. This is just a picture of like town. These are kids. This is some sort of TikTok video, blah blah blah. So you can always flag these ones and report them to Google that these are relevant. So Google will make sure to remove them. But the best way to beat this, to beat irrelevant information, is by keeping our information fresh. So You can always summarize 2 or 3 pictures of the key events that happened that month, and add them to the website. Videos as well. So yeah, I talked about fixing the socials as well. Then let's talk about questions. These ones right here. None of these has been answered by the official admin itself. It's just people that are contributing to it. And in doing my research, I can think of a few questions that people probably have that people would want. If they came to Q&A here, there are certain questions that people are always going to have, that are always going to occur again and again. That it would be it's always best to pre-fill them and then answer them such that they're already there. So things like what's the role of State House? This one occurs a lot. How can I meet the president? What are the official contact details? Is there a procedure for visiting the State House? For Ugandans that are genuinely curious and just want to, for example, tour the State House. Is that a thing that happens? Is it allowed? If so, what's the procedure? When can we visit? What is needed? National ID? Do we need to pay or not? On which days? Stuff like that. We can have questions about the State House's policies on media access and press releases. We can have something about the priorities and goals, the State House priorities and goals for this coming year. Just a brief summary of all these things, and in case you cannot write the whole thing here, we can always put links to the website such that people visit and learn more. So there is that. And then when it comes to these questions, there are some questions here that are a little bit irrelevant. Maybe people complaining about stuff that is unrelated. Let me find one here. Job and cleaning services. So for example, we can have a question that talks about, for people who are interested in careers and jobs at State House. They can go to this link on the website and find out more about job openings and about the hiring process and stuff like that. Chat is taking online Nigeria sub-county. I don't know how do I visit State House? I talked about this. I want to meet PPS. I'm from Bendi, land grabbing. And some of these are very old. Is there a chance to meet the president on Christmas Day? Actually, something important. So things like this that are, a bit unimportant, that are not related to what you have, you can always flag them and have Google delete them for you. So there is that. So sharing of valuable information, I already covered it. You can find out the 10 or 20 or 30 most asked questions about the State House using something like Google Analytics, and I make sure I get back to all those people. So that kind of covers what I had to say about the knowledge panel. So let's go to the website itself. And of course it chooses now to load forever. Okay, now in terms of the website, the first thing I'd fix is some bits about the user interface. From what I've learned is that this website built with headless WordPress, so I think you're using WordPress for the back end, just to handle everything to do with databases, and then for the front end, you're probably using something like React or Next.js, to handle the user interface, obviously. But I think it could be better. I think if you're looking at something like this, because here you have this top banner here that is gray. There's a gray gradient in the background. It's yellow here. Rather, it's white here, and then here it's yellow, and then here it's white, and then there is it's like a State House logo, and then this is like a black gradient, and then like a black background here, and then these are like light yellow, and you hover and they're yellow, and then here there's a, it's just a big white background. So it's not very consistent, and it's not very visually appealing, to be honest. The fonts are also a little bit inconsistent, like this font that you're using here. I don't know if it's the same as this, but then these ones are bold. I think our population has since increased since this was put here. So it's just things like that. These maps are very, very stretched on the pictures of maps you're using. And also, for example, for a map like this one that talks about population, this is a picture that is just showing like towns across the whole country, which isn't very, very relevant to population. What you would want is you'd want to have a map that shows maybe population density, and that has like for example, a gradient that shows, in areas where population is very, it's sparse. I say it's a light gradient, and in areas like Kampala here and Jinja and Barra, it becomes dark. You know what I'm talking about. So things like that, and there are different tools and different websites that you can use to come up with those maps and just embed them here, such that there is that visual consistency, whereby this looks similar to this, but this is not very relevant for this subject of population. Excuse me, in the country. This one has different districts. I don't know how recent this one is that it shows all 135, but it is, then that's a good thing. But I think you can also see both these maps are both stretched, so we can definitely work on that. And then the footer as well, it's not very well aligned. Yeah, just like the top here, by the way, because this contact information is left aligned, and then this one is kind of just there. It isn't aligned to the right, it's not aligned to the center, it's not aligned to the left. It just kind of hangs in the middle. So it kind of throws off the visual consistency of the entire website. So then let's talk about something like a newsletter. That would be very, very relevant for a website like this. A newsletter is something, instead of just having this search feature here, where people will search for different things they want, we could look at having a simple newsletter here, where people can put their name and an email address, and we add them to our email list, and then we can send them, and obviously we have to give them what we call a lead magnet, to kind of entice them to subscribe to the newsletter. And the reason for that would be to, they have access to early access to exclusive content. Anything that you are planning to put out, they have that. So yes, access to things like press releases, news, announcements. They can get directly to their email, delivered maybe weekly or monthly, or any new developments that we feel we need to communicate to the public. They can have access to in-depth reports and analysis on key policies or presidential addresses, or any national developments that are going on, and then they can actually directly engage with the State House as well, for things like Q&A sessions on key issues that we need public input with, without going through rudimentary channels, like having to hire people to go there and to go to the ground and meet this one and meet the other one, which can be very time consuming. They can directly interact with us through our newsletter, so they can vote on key things. They can fill out surveys, they can fill out forums, so things like that, to make sure we keep that direct contact with people who really visit the website. It builds that bond, it builds that relationship, and it builds trust with not just the president, but the cabinet and the government at large. So there is that. So for something like a user interface, we can look at for example, this was a React template similar to the one that I'm thinking the existing website was built in, which I think is also built in React and is using WordPress as a backend. So I think you can see the world of a difference of how beautiful this UI is and how simple it is to navigate, and it translates very well also to mobile. You have your key pages here. Contact information is up here. Here there are links to to submit complaints, to learn more about the government, to learn more about anything you have, any issue you have with the website. You can always report it here. Yeah, and then for things like on the website that I saw, things to do with population and land size and districts and what, we can include them here. Different things about government services can be there. Something about the president, it can be there, or the cabinet. And then here, I really like this one. This is about upcoming events. So you can always have a summary here of upcoming events, like where is the president going to be, or the vice president, or the prime minister, who are they going to be, what time will they be there, what's the name of the event, what's going on, who is going to present. A simple summary like that. And you can see the event details, what's going to happen, who is required, what other speakers are going to be there. That helps people kind of keep track of what's going on, such that if they're interested in attending any of these events, they can always be there. And then after the event, we get this, and then we create we can write a blog post about what happened at that event, who spoke, what did they talk about, who attended, blah blah blah, and then also have pictures as well. So there is that. Different things about government departments, government programs. We can have them here, and they link to that specific page that talks about that program. Who is heading the program? What progress have they made? Things like that. About maybe crime. We can embed videos here from NTV and NBS about news bulletins about this program. They were caught arresting this person for doing this. They were caught doing this. If it's a farming thing, the president opened it here. This is the progress they have made, and these are their goals. This is the FAQ about this place. So things like that. Here, obviously you can have a page about the cabinet, the president, blah blah blah, and other key things. And obviously here you have the blog and a footer here. You can compare how this looks compared to the existing footer we have here, and I think you can see there's a world of a difference between the two. So just those key things that we can also fix. So let's talk about the blog post. It's supposed to load. Okay, for a blog post like this, you're really doing, a decent job of, making sure it covers all the bases. But to begin with, these are the changes that I make. Excuse me. Number one, for all the pictures on the website, all of them, it doesn't matter. There are two things that you absolutely have to do for every picture on the website. Number one, to convert, because I see this is a JPEG. Most people use JPEGs and PNGs on their website, and you don't want to use that. You want to convert all the pictures on your website to this web format called WebP. It retains the picture quality, so the picture is going to be very, very high definition, but then it's going to be a much smaller file size. So to give you an example, let me show you what I mean, and I'll then show you why. Okay, I have loaded all the pictures on that page into this tool that I use. So we're going to convert them, and you see a difference that in most cases That's pretty interesting because the file size has increased in every single case here. So this is probably not a very good example, but in most cases, the JPEGs and PNGs that people use on their websites, they are very, very big file sizes. So they can be like 1 MB, some as big as 2, some as big as 3. So what you want is you want to have WebP because it just loads so much faster, and Google rewards pages that reward faster. They rank better, and it's also very good for the user experience of people that are reading through the page. So probably consider using WebP. And then the other thing is none of these pictures all have the same alt attribute. The alt attribute is just the text you add to the picture to describe to the search engine bot what that picture is about, because the search engine obviously cannot see. But when you have a case like this whereby all the pictures have the same exact alt text, that's probably not good. So you can use ChatGPT or DeepSeek or Gemini or Claude, whatever AI you prefer, to come up with more custom descriptions for every picture. So this one is different. The president is speaking. Maybe a different arrangement about how they are seated. This one is their meeting is giving them, he's handing the president a picture of something. This one they are standing outside. So, and so on and so forth in that order. You don't want to have the same alt text for every single picture on the blog page. So that that's better in terms of SEO. And then one thing I would do as someone that has a astigmatism, I would definitely make this font bigger. There is no reason for it to be this small. I'd probably make it 1.5 to 2 times as big, maybe 1.5 times as big, and then maybe reduce the width of the page such that the copy is more contained. And what I mean by that is something like let me just see if these guys have it. Yeah, something like this. I think you can see how it's this text is relatively narrow. The entire blog isn't going from here up to like here. It's just a better user interface that way. It's just more readable because someone doesn't have to read like you also expect, and then they having to swing their head from side to side. It's more contained that way, and the font is bigger. And now, lastly, let's cover, for example, as I've gone through this blog post, how differently I would the fuck. Okay, yeah, how I'll write it differently. It already, every time you're writing something, for example, in terms of SEO, what is in mind is what exactly are we trying to rank that piece of content for. So what's the target keyword? So for this one, it's probably something like Museveni hosts Pope Theodore II, or something like that. That's the target keyword in mind. So whenever I'm writing content like this, it's something you begin with here, like Pope Theodore II or something like that. You get it. So that helps guide your entire writing process because you're optimizing all the content for that keyword. But then you can see here, President Museveni welcomes Pope Theodore II to Uganda. I'll probably have the title be that. But then here, you already did a very good job of, talking about what the meeting was about. So that is excellent. The meta description, let's talk about the meta description. The meta description is what appears here in this is the meta description right here. It's what appears after the title in the search engine results. And one thing you always have to remember is that the meta description shouldn't be more than 20 words because every time you write a very long meta description, Google punishes you for that. And what I mean by that is this: you can see this is very long. So all of it cannot fit here. It has to be something simple and descriptive that tells the person reading this page is about this, this blog post is about that. And then when they come to the blog post itself, that's where they can learn more. So this one that I wrote here is probably also too long. So you want to kind of play around with it to get it down to about 20 words, or like 156 characters. For it to work. The H1, the difference between the H1 and the title is that the title is this. The title is what appears again in the search engine. The H1 is what appears on the page itself. And for those two things, they're normally the same. But then because Google wants you to limit how much text you can put in the title, it probably is going to be shorter. And I can see a common mistake people make here is adding adding the name of rather the title of the website itself, like State House Uganda, to every blog title. And that's not advisable, because when you come to the search engines, they're always going to include the title of the website here. It's always going to be there, so it's a bit redundant having it in the title of the blog post itself. It's a bit repetitive, and it's just going to fill up context here and make your title too long, and inadvertently make Google punish you for writing a too long title. So you should always leave this out unless this title is very short, or you should just leave it out, because it's always going to be here next to the search results themselves. So just start. I try to have a few H2 tags within the body of the text itself. So I don't like having walls of text where it's just text. I like to break it up with sections, and each of those sections has a title. So you can see we can have a section that talks about religious freedom center stage. We talk about that. Beyond Uganda, we talk about the regional peace efforts, what's going on in DRC and Rwanda, and how this meeting, what they discuss in the meeting, it ties into that. Museveni's philosophy and religious coexistence, I part about that. Warning against sectarianism, I part about that. This Google really likes that, seeing a breakdown and not just a wall of text. For these, for a blog post like this, you probably aim for about 450 words. Because it covers all the bases. Unless it's a piece of legacy content that is a cornerstone to the website. For example, a page talking about the president, the vice president. For those ones, make it as long as you can. Make it as detailed as you can. Make sure it's the best possible piece of content about the vice president on the internet. So you can mention the history. You can mention their CV, how they got there, the different jobs they've had, their initiatives, blah 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 blah. All that. Using a tool called Yoast SEO. There is one that is available for React, which I'm guessing is what you designed this website in. If you cannot use that, you can always use something like they have an online tool where you can get all this, paste it there, and then see how well it has been written. Not just for SEO, but also for readability. For example, you don't want to have sentences on the website that are more than 20 words long. You want sentences to be short, you want paragraphs to be short, such that it's very digestible for the reader, and I think you're already doing a very good job for that. Internal linking and external linking, that's every time you put out a new piece of content, try to, in terms of internal links, you want to link to maybe 2 or 3 other blogs or other pages on the website that are related to what you're putting about. So this one is about the president meeting the Pope of the Orthodox Church. So you can have a shortcut is to come to Google, put site, and then immediately put your domain, and then in brackets put something like Orthodox or members of parliament or vice president or presidential initiatives, something like that. You get, it's always going to list them out for you, and then you can come back to the blog you've written, link to those ones, and then go back to those ones as well, and then link to the one you've written, because you want to have a very good link structure for all the content on the website. You want to link to other pages, and you want other pages to link to this one. So that one also works as well. And make sure you also write links to other within the blog post itself. Link to other pages, external website. I mean, like 2 or 3 links. So for this meeting, I can see the vice president was present. So you can find a reason there to link to the vice president, where it's mentioned, where literally it mentions like the vice president. You can link to Interreligious Council of Uganda, because I'm sure that may have come up here. Link to their website, link to the vice president's website, link to the office of the prime minister, something like that. Images, as we said, use WebP. All text, I already covered it. Why it's important. When you're linking out to other pages, if the target keyword of this article was President Museveni hosts Pope, something like this, with content cannibalization, what they mean is do not link. Oh, okay. Here's a way to put it. If the target keyword of this article was something like I don't know, Muslims and Christians. I know that's far-fetched, but I'm trying to give an example here. If that was the target keyword of this article, and by target keyword I mean the target keyword you have here that kind of influences what the blog post is about and how it's written. If the target keyword was Muslims and Christians, do not again come to your within here and link to any other page, whether on our website or on an external website, and then use this text itself to link to it. That is what they call content cannibalization, and it negatively affects your own ranking. So you avoid that. Make sure the keywords are in the URLs, though most website builders and most SEO tools do that automatically. And then I also covered this already, linking to 3 other pages on the website. So yeah, I think this covers all the bases of what I discovered in a general 50,000 foot view of this. There are probably other pages here that you can also go through and optimize to rank better. The first lady here, this talks about her, but then you can see that this content is very thin. Regarding someone as legendary as the first lady. I'm sure she has been in the game for long. She has had very many government jobs. She had to come from somewhere. She has had so many initiatives. Blah 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 blah. This easily should have at least 2,000 words talking about her journey and what she has done, and you should have different pictures embedded in there, videos, all that, from where she started to today as the Minister of Education. What she has done to fight AIDS and the different NGOs. You get the idea. So, yeah, and the same applies for every other page, whether that's Prime Minister, the Cabinet, the Judiciary, all that. So, yeah, that's what I had to say about this, and I hope to hear from you soon, and thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.